Yay. That's a fact. Hats off, good people. Welcome to this week's episode of Hats Off. That's a fact. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna talk to the Delaware Music Network, all the featured artists. We're gonna run through a couple of them, have some good conversation. That's what's gonna happen today. All right. Again, yeah, that's what this is about to be. This is that good old hats off where we talk to all of those featured artists I'm talking about. We will talk to Naja Nicole, who is already here. Boom. So she probably gonna be up first. I don't know if she know, but I know, and I hope she hear me because that's a fact. Bow. Right? Boom. Talk to D Harv and Harvey Rowe. Probably talk to Spider. Boom. Young Sada. Yep, sir. Yes, we talking to you in the building today. That's a fact. All right. All right. Also gonna talk the true story because that's that oddly dope lineup. You know. Also from the open mic jam session, of course, we're gonna talk to Serena Joy and Nia J, as well as my man Smooth Waffle. Right, so it's going to be a vibe. We're going to have a great conversation with the P-Bal today on Hats Off with your boy G-Dash, you heard me? Alright, so, oh man, and it's getting popping here. Listen, I don't know if y'all know. Listen, I see the squad, the squad jumping on right now. So, first things first. Actually, let me see. All right, I'm actually going to think. I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna talk to Naja Nicole first because she was on first, right? That's they gonna ask me who's on first. I'm gonna say you. Let me see. Boop. Let me get you up on here. Give me 1 second. And then, all right, there it is. Get you right up on now. Mm-hmm. And then just so y'all know, so just so y'all aware, after I get Naja Nicole, oh, see, look at you. Ah! Right,
Hi.
right.
How
How are you?
good. I'm with my trusty companion.
Okay. What is the name of the
This
animal?
is Prince.
Oh, okay. Listen, Purple Rain Prince.
He a little sensitive, you know.
So it's Prince. Okay. So I don't know if you can tell me this out loud, but does he own his own masters?
We'll get there later. We'll get there later.
So listen, okay. While I have you, I gotta talk to you about. First, let's start off with Maya Bellardo presents. Woo! Tell them about the jacket. Tell them about it because they ain't seen it. They gotta know what the look. Tell them
And
what it look like.
well, the suit, baby. Okay, because it was top and bottom. It was, the curtains and the drapes. All right, like it was. The outfit was all sequins. I said to my mom, I was like, I want to come out like shiny, like I want to blind people, and I did that.
Yes, yes. I will say. So y'all know what it looked like. So if you can imagine the ball from the Michael Jackson, boom, boom, but I don't. Like if you imagine that ball and you take that ball and you put it on Diana Ross.
Yes. Yes.
You will then have what Nigel Nicole look like. That's exactly what you'll have, right? The room may start spinning a little bit. Somebody gonna probably put on roller skates, right? And like it just the vibe instantly became that video. So like that visual was fire. Like look, it was a vibe.
That was
So I
it.
have to ask, what made you pick the songs that you picked? Because like it felt like a whole experience you was putting together.
Yeah. I really was introspective. I guess the word would be. I was very intentional. I wanted songs that represented different parts of my life, my career, and that felt good to me. And I was like, okay, I think this is it, and I just ordered them in the way to tell the story. And yeah, that was it.
Ooh, okay. What was your favorite song that you actually performed?
Home.
Why?
Um,
I know why because I remember the
yeah,
story, but you tell them.
because it, it it's a song that I have been challenged with since I was a kid that I never decided to sing. And recently I sang it for someone's homegoing service, a family member's homegoing service. And it meant so much to me to be able to not only tackle the song, but actually learn the meaning because of what she thought of the meaning. And also the significance of Diana Ross being my idol. And the first time I fell in love with her was when I saw The Wiz. And it's just so much going on.
Right.
So.
Listen, I must admit, it was fire. Okay, by the way, so y'all know which home that we talking about. It like because there's a bunch of songs to home. It wasn't. I want to go home. Nobody wanted to go home. Like nobody wanted to go home. However, it was when I think of home, I think of a place. It was that home. Okay, the one with Dorothy and them. The 10. Oh, listen, that's the one that she sang. Like, listen, it was no place like it. I promise you, it was fire.
Go home.
Oh, I'm here for it. If you don't mind, I'm gonna bring one of our young singers up because I have you and I have somebody who's a little newer. You done been some places, so I'm gonna give you impart a little bit of wisdom. Naya J, you up next. I don't know if you knew because I didn't tell you that that's what you was gonna do, but I got you here, so I'm gonna do it. There you go. So I'm gonna invite Naya J up during that moment. Here's a question while she's coming on up. It's been a little bit since you sang, right? Was it hard to get back on that stage?
Hi.
Hello, welcome.
How are y'all?
We are phenomenal. By the way, world, y'all need to know this is Naya J. She was featured on the open mic jam session. She was one of the features on the open mic jam session. Vocals was rocking. It was a phenomenal show. Listen, there's some original pieces and all of that. But before I get to you, Naya, I do want you to peep this. I'm gonna ask you the same question.
Okay.
See, you'll see what I'm doing here. Okay. So, but Naja, look, not Naja and Naya. Okay, N and M. N and M.
That's funny.
I can't even say it right. N and M. Anyway. Okay. But Naja, so here's my question again. What was it like going back after not singing for a while? Was that hard to do? And how did it feel?
So the funny thing is I've actually been singing like all year, but I've been doing it in private events. So this was the first time that I did a public setting with a lot of the people that saw me coming up. So very difficult, I'm going to be honest, because I saw me and then they did. And, I get a lot of questions like, what are you doing? So it was terrifying in a sense that I didn't want to let people down. But it was also terrifying because I'm introducing them to someone that they never met before. But it was also exhilarating because I got to introduce them to the authentic me.
Woo, the authentic you, the real her.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, so what is the authentic you? What does that look like?
So something I said to my husband the other day, I said there's a difference between singing purely and being a cringe versus it being a feeling. And I went and did a show where not all the notes were perfect, not all the words were perfect, the transitions may not have been, but the feeling was there. And with feeling, and intention and all of that comes, people who can relate. So it was just a crowd of people who felt what I felt. And that was what was most important to me.
That is art. I love it. I love it. I love it. So that actually brings me to Naya J. Because see, when Naya J, when was the last time you sang prior to last night? Like publicly?
I'm gonna be honest. It's been months. Like,
yeah,
it's been a minute. Yeah.
So what made you like get on that stage, and how did that feel for you?
So I was a little nervous because it's been a minute, and I feel like it was fun though. I missed the feeling. Like, I used to go on all the time. But I miss the feeling, and it's a nice feeling to go up there and sing. Like, I love singing. That's my favorite thing to do.
Right. How long you been singing now?
4, since I was 4.
Wow.
From my mama. Let me tell you, my mama got me to sing, but it really started from my whole family. Cause I know did you hear my mom? You had to hear my mom. Okay, so
But they didn't hear your mom. Tell them about your mom. you talking to the world.
Let me tell y'all, my mom is goated. Okay, that's where I get all this from. So, but I really started. My first song I ever sung was "Going Up the Yonder."
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, my mom, that was my mom's song to sing in church, and I go to Ezine Fair Baptist Church.
Okay.
So that's where we sing. I sing for the youth praise team there.
So how'd you pick the songs that you sang last night?
So the CPR, that was actually Summer Walker's song. Affection was my song that I wrote. Like, I love songwriting, so like it was really, I love that song. That's my favorite song. I was like, hold up, I made that song. Like,
Right. So is your favorite part of the process writing?
Honestly, just putting it all together. So like, I find the beat or whatever, and then literally, I do think my favorite part is, I'm sorry, it's all loud in here, but my favorite part is writing. Like, I just put what I'm feeling out, and it just all come together, and I love it. So
That's dope. I need to know, Naja, do you like to write too? Like, because there is a song called "If Is," but it's a couple years old, but it's still "If Is Fire," right? Is fire? I'm messing up every time.
It's called IFLS, and it stands for I feel like shit.
Close enough, okay? Don't do that to me in person. Like, listen, close enough.
If
Nope.
So, I do like to write, but I'm a very emotional writer. So when I do it, I don't want nobody around me because I need to be in the moment. I'm dramatic. Oh my God.
No, you.
Yo, you're terrible.
No, I'm just saying. Like, it's a.
I question.
Mhm.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
You're 19.
Mhm.
You're from there?
Yeah.
Just a word of advice. Don't let nobody tell you to be anything different than who you are. Nobody. Don't let nobody come up to you with no paperwork, no promises, unless they got a check in hand and they say you can be your authentic self. I believe in your talent. Don't fall for it. You are beautiful and talented just as you are.
Oh, thank you. And so are you. I love the puff. You bringing it back. I love it.
Listen, no, she keep the puff though. She don't even like. So I will say about Naja Nicole, what you'll see, and by the way, there is a Delaware Music Network December playlist that has both of their songs all throughout it, right? So I suggest the link is in the bio. I don't even know why I'm tweeting like the bio's bummy, but I feel like if y'all listen to the playlist, you're gonna hear the song attached that Nia J sang, and you will hear the song I Feel Like, well, you get it, that Naja Nicole sang as well. And those songs go together. I need you to know.
I want to listen.
Hell, it's fun. Well, the second that we done, guess what? Tap, tap, click it on, okay? Keep the rock. It's all fire, okay? I also gotta say, because I was going to ask you actually, what advice would you give a new singer? But you just did that. So instead, I'm gonna ask Nia J, what's the hardest thing about kind of being new? Because you got your first song up, like it's a lot. Like, what's the hardest thing about being in that position?
So, especially at my age, like I just got out of school and stuff not that long ago. So, I guess the consistency, like when I was in school, I couldn't really, well, even now, you have to like have money for the studio, and really that's that's the only problem for real. Like, you gotta get studio time, if you want production and stuff, and you want bigger videos and stuff to post and stuff, like all of that, it just comes with a lot. But I'm gonna be honest, last year, that's when I started. Last year, I was like, I ain't know how to write. I don't know what to do. Like, I just see this and I hear this and I don't know what to do. And I kind of thought, and Attached was my first song I've ever wrote in my life. Like, so to take a huge break, because I didn't drop nothing. Like, so to take a huge break from dropping everything, like, you just gotta, I feel like, I'm sorry.
Are you good? Listen, I'm gonna let you pause for 2 seconds, and while you think about it, I'm gonna bring Serena Joy up just so I can, keep the rotation, bring the next person up with us. Plus, she fit as well. Like, all y'all light skin and all y'all don't do that. Naja, I don't know which color you thought you were. We're not doing that. Okay, we are not.
going to do this.
Hi.
Serena.
Hi, everybody.
How are you?
I am good. How are you guys?
I'm
I
good.
am phenomenal.
Good.
Listen, absolutely. Yes, we can hear you. Now, Nia J was telling us about the hardest things about being young and coming in.
So I'm seeing like from that big gap, I'm like so good at songwriting. So it's about to be weird. Like that little attached thing was like a little bop, and then now it's like I feel like I came even harder with affection.
Mm.
Yeah, that's like my favorite.
Absolutely.
But honestly, you just gotta make sure it makes sense. Like, come like write about how you feel. Don't really like try to. I mean, I know some people go off of what's popping nowadays and all that, but I say go on how you feel, because when you writing about how you feel, like that song's gonna be about, because that's you. That's what you've been going through. That's what all your things that you like had to do and stuff. Like that's gonna be about. That's you. Your songwriting, your songs is you. Unless somebody writing the songs for you.
Listen, I'll say this. Even if you're singing someone else's words, the words that you're singing should still reflect yourself. Right? When people start to try to do things that aren't them, is when like they're gonna fail the litmus test. It's gonna come out like in the wash. People gonna know that it's not you, right? And that's when it's gonna be a thing.
Yep.
You know. So listen, I'm here for it. Serena Joy, since you was at the open mic jam session as well yesterday, how did that feel on that stage? How did it feel?
It was good. It was good. I had a good time. I was happy I was able to be there. You know, just amongst, I like the jam session. You know, I always feel like everybody's receptive. Everybody's there to just, you know, do their thing and then also support, right? And meet new people. And it's beautiful. Like, I just like being there. So I'm grateful that y'all even had me. Yeah.
Listen, grateful to have you. I don't know if y'all know, so let me tell you about Serena Joy. So Serena Joy's pen, she does a little bit of poetry and she does singing as well. And it's all like heartfelt. And I tell people, like, even when it's sad, you just feel good about yourself when she done. like she could talk about like dead kittens, and by the time she done, you'll be like, oh man, I'm invigorated. Listen, I can do it. You don't know what. This is the energy. How do you do that to a room?
I don't know. I didn't know I did quite that. I don't.
You do.
But, no.
You do.
Honestly, like what Naya was saying, I you know, I either speak from experience. I'm very empathetic, so when other people are going through something, I'm like, oh, I'm going through something sometimes. You know what I mean? And but my thing is, I've always growing up, my mom was always like, we're blessed. We're blessed. No matter what we were going through, we were blessed. So when I'm creating, I always need that spark of hope for others too. You're still blessed. I do workshops with youth today, but we talk about there's always something you could be grateful for. And how does that change how you feel about life when you're able to get up and say, oh, you know, I got something to be grateful for. It starts turning things around. So when I create, I just want to help give people hope. I want them to be uplifted. I want them to feel like they can make it through the day, especially in these days and times when it feels like you can't.
I like that. Listen, I'm here for it. I told you. She said like 5 words. I feel uplifted already. I don't know what happened. I'm just listening. I'm just levitating. Okay. I have to ask you this because I'm curious about the process. And I asked National Nicole and Nia J, how did you pick your pieces to perform?
Me, well, kind of what I needed as well. So the first piece was about being free, and I was there's a death in the family, so there's a lot of heaviness, and I was feeling that. And then the other part of just like silver and gold, I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do that song. Like, I just like performing it. But also what happened was, like I mentioned, I cut my hair. But then when I had to wear it curly, not gonna name no names, but a loved one told me they wasn't really feeling it curly. And that really hurt me a little bit, because I was like, yo, you don't know what it took me to gain the confidence to cut my hair. And but it was a reminder that when I do create, I need these reminders. Even if I made it in a different time, I still needed it the next time. So they can compare me to silver and gold, but nothing compares to my soul.
What?
Ain't nobody like you. Ain't nobody like me. You know, so of course I feel it, and it don't matter if nobody else feel it at the moment. I say, hey, these are words that I need sometimes. You know what I mean? So.
Yes. And by the way, to me, that's one of the most beautiful things about performing is sometimes what you do on that stage, and all three of you I saw do this actually, what you were doing on stage could speak to somebody in that crowd that needed that. It might not even have been about you. But sometimes when you're what you're giving forth, there's somebody in that crowd that needed to receive this information way more than even you did at the time. So that is always phenomenal to me.
Yes, definitely.
So Naja, I gotta come back and I gotta ask you, when did you know that you were talented? Because you've been doing this for probably the longest. How long you been doing it? Like professionally, I should say. How long?
Since I was 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew when I was 12.
She said she hit adolescence. When I was the adolescent, they couldn't fool with me. There was 14-year-old kindergartners, okay? They were just big, but they still couldn't handle me. So I listen.
No, and my parents, I go to, well, my home church is Bethel AME on Walnut, and the very first solo I ever did was with my sister. I got because people were so ecstatic to hear us sing, and then I remember singing a solo a couple months later, and people were losing it, and I was like, I like this a lot. And my dad always said to me, you are, we didn't really say anointed. I mean, people always told me, you know, you're anointed, but my dad always said that you have healing power. And when you sing, it can't always be about you. It has to be about what you're doing for other people. So I tried to keep that in mind. Even if I didn't understand it at my young age, I tried to keep in mind the people that I could be helping. Now as I'm older, I understand, because child, I be the one that need the song. So I get it, you know.
Fact. Okay, that is true. So I guess you discovered kind of the fact that you're somewhat of a vessel, right? And it's made to kind of move through.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. With that said, question, I gotta ask you this now because I think I'm gonna ask if I could bring you back in probably about maybe 10 minutes. And if you can get Jay, I would advise because it'd be different too. But
birthday Jay, he's out.
Okay. Well, can you come back in like 10 minutes? Hop back on. I'm gonna circle somebody else in.
That's fine. No, yes.
Okay.
Ladies,
I appreciate you.
To talk to you. If I don't see
you,
it's nice talking to you.
Oh, it's light skins. This is all light skinned than me. That's why I can't go nowhere in public. I promise. Oh man, all right. I'm about to because we keeping it with the faith is high today. Young Stutter, you. Oh no, I'm sorry. Smooth Waffle. Smooth Waffle was the next one coming up. So Smooth. Yep. You click out and the Smooth come on in.
All right.
Do you know how to click out? Oh, okay. Let me see. We're gonna see. She how not use technology. I'm gonna laugh at you if you don't know how to use it. Oh, she does. No, I ain't get to laugh. I'm disappointed. I wanted to point and laugh. All right. Okay. Smooth Waffle. There we go. He coming up. So I gotta ask Nia J, when did you know that you were dope? Like when did you know that you kind of had the vibe? Hold on 1 second. Smooth.
Yeah.
Aye. Okay, listen, I'm gonna circle to you in a moment, good brother. Smooth Waffle, by the way, he was one of the featured performers as well. Right now it's all of the open mic jam session except for Harvey Road and all of them. So I'm gonna get them in a second a little bit, but right now that's why I got Nia J and I got Serena Joy and Smooth Waffle. They were all three of the featured performers from the open mic jam session that shut it down. Okay, that's it. So actually, before I go to Nia, I am gonna ask Smooth. Listen, how did it feel on that stage?
You said how it feel?
Yeah.
Releasing. Every time I hit a stage, it's always a release. And honestly, I'm always grateful. Because any day could go, you know what I mean, for me. So anytime I have a chance to just share what I love, so I'm always grateful. I always learn something new.
That's a fact. Oh, so what did you learn last night? Oh,
Man,
Chuck.
so personally for me, well, I'll be honest. I ain't even really think about it for the last night. But what I can say, even as I continue to think about it as we converse, um, honestly, I mean that being my third time out Delaware,
Mm.
um, I'm definitely, I was definitely thankful. Um, considering all the talent in the room and even the band and everything. Um, I always gotta consider be in my P's and Q's and just consider what I'm adapting to. You know what I'm saying? So every setting, every location is different. So um, that being my second time in the Queen, I just thought about how I could utilize the stage a little more for next time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I felt a little crammed, but it was because it was a lot of instruments and stuff up there. So, I just thought about that and then what I could do to better adapt to that. And I just say that being transparent as far as just, performing, you know what I mean?
No, I love you saying that because I love for other artists to hear that and think to themselves, I didn't even think about moving around like that. I didn't even think about it.
I
Like
like I
that
like
statement
to
will make
jump
somebody
around.
else think.
Yeah, I
Yes.
like to move around and jump around and like for that particular performance, I figured, I'm gonna stand with the mic. Because sometimes I find myself when I grab the mic and move around, if I can't really move the way I want, I feel awkward. So, and more just, not feeling as free, you know what I mean? So that's why I was like, all right, I'm gonna be like with the mic stand and I'm gonna just, you know, coerce like that.
I dig it. I dig it. With that said, so now I'm asking Naya J. When you perform, do you think about like how do you put together that part in your head of like how you go and stand and all of that? Like or is it still kind of new and figuring out that placement?
Listen, I just was talking about this, so I think it's funny. I'm not like I feel like you know how like I can't even do a little two step. I can't dance. I'm real.
Right.
I
Listen.
can't. So I really be thinking hard like how I'm gonna like move around the stage and stuff. But for real, like some good advice someone told me like the just you got because I be closing my eyes. That was the nervousness. So I want to engage with the crowd more. Like look at them, like see if they feeling what I'm feeling. Like I just want it to be like that. I want it to be a vibe. I don't want to close my eyes the whole time. But that's something I'm gonna have to figure out.
Okay, okay. I like that you said that because now I can go to Serena Joy, who is all over this. Listen, we hear it. You feel me? Your eyes is open. She making contact. So, any tips you can give somebody for how to handle that and stuff to be so loose and free like you are?
Well, I majored in mass communication, so the one thing we always there, see what you look like. Oh, girl, you look good. Go ahead, do it that way. Do it that way. Like, well, however works for you. But sometimes also, like the first piece, I knew I didn't want to move because this was a piece where I just wanted to give you what I had inside of me, and I just wanted to be so focused. And you could get all the gestures and everything. I mean, but that's part of who I am. When I talk, people always be like, "Oh, you're so animated." I guess so, but sometimes I recognize that there are some singers like you have such a like I will never come around and be like I'm a vocalist. That is not Serena Joy. I sing because God gave me something to sing. Don't mean I'm the best singer out there. You got a voice, honey. I feel like you can draw me in, and you might not have to move. You know what I mean? So that's just like one of those things where you figure out what you need to do when you need to do it. In my opinion, that's what I would say.
So you
I wanted to
kind of feel
say,
like
That's real.
I'm sorry. I
That's
wanted
real.
to say that you were so bomb. Yes, both of y'all were bomb. Like,
Oh,
and what he was
Appreciate
saying,
it.
saying
Appreciate
that
it.
you feel good. Like I was like, yes, empowerment. But yeah, like you did really good. Like I love that. It was cute.
thank you. You guys did awesome.
listen.
It's always great. I was telling Joe, I was like, I tell people this is like one of my favorite open mics in Delaware. It might be the only open mic I know right now, but it's still my favorite.
That's a fact. Okay, so now because you said that, I gotta ask Smooth. Smooth, you said you're not from here, right? Where you from?
So I'm originally from Virginia and currently residing in Philly. I've been in Philly for
Okay,
like over 10
okay.
years.
So,
Mm.
and this is your second time going to being at the Queen. Is this your second time at this open mic?
Yep, yep.
So, from somebody who isn't from around here, tell me what your perspective of the open mic was. Because I'm gonna be honest, like if somebody wasn't there and you tell them it's an open mic, they don't
Yeah.
really know what you got. So, like,
So for me, the perspective, right? I feel like for what I've been able to witness and be a part of, the venue has a nice way of bringing you in with intimacy. And I feel like from my fellow performers here, hi by the way, because I didn't say hi to y'all coming in here and stuff,
Yeah.
you know. But from them to just anybody I've gotten to really like witness, there's like it feels like an openness to it. You know what I mean? Like anybody can go up there and share what they want. It's not like a particular taste level or a particular genre. And it's a nice setting, a great setting too, like from the aesthetics to the lighting. Um, everything just knows how to like bring you in. Like, you know what I'm saying? And for me it's a great setting to feel a part of the performance. You know what I'm saying? Like as a performer, to me, I feel that much more a part of the performance. And I feel like for the viewers, it gives them an opportunity to be that much more immersed. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. I'm glad you said it. I'm a part of Delaware Music Network, so if I say it, I'm biased. But if you say it, it's just facts. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah. It's a nice vibe though,
Okay.
for sure. Nice vibe.
Now, EJ, I'm actually probably about to get you up out of here, but I want to ask you two more questions, but one is a quick one. The first question, really quick, is how did you know that you had that talent to like work on it in the building? How did you know that you had it in you?
So, like you talking about period or?
Sure.
Okay. We're talking about with the Queen, like we.
No, I meant period. Like, how did you know you had the vocals that you should be putting songs out there? That you should be like, you shouldn't just be somebody's background somewhere.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, cause this is the truth. I've never been on a song until my boyfriend started making music, and he's just like, "Well, let me put my girl on here." It was a little something I just did, and like that was everyone's favorite part. And so I was just like, like I think I should start making music. I want to, cause I feel like R&B is my favorite genre. It really is. I love R&B. Um, but I really just started in church and stuff. But I love music so much. Like it's probably not a song I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Like, and it's like it just I got some inspirations too. Like I really mess with I don't know if y'all know Kiana Lede. I don't know if
Absolutely.
I really mess with her vibe. Like I love her. I love her too. Her is one of my faves.
Yeah.
Rihanna is one of my faves. But if we want to talk about the real like old school singers that my mom put
Hold
me on.
on, Paul. I need you to know when you say old school, I get real nervous when young people say words like old school. I need to know.
Not really old, but like older than me, a little older than me, okay, like a little older than me. So like, mom,
I
so
want to
like
hear too.
Fantasia, Jasmine Sullivan, like all of them.
Damn, that's
That's
that
not what
could
I'm
be
meaning,
old
but like
That was old.
just a
That's
little
old
older,
school.
just a little older, just a little older.
Old school was when I was in school. That ain't right.
I didn't mean to offend
I
you.
would have thought
No,
like
I'm
two
just.
decades ago or something, you know?
I might have say back in the day because I'm only 19, so.
Jasmine Sullivan and Fantasia. I didn't.
Too. Like,
don't get me wrong. When I see you is a Negro spiritual. Okay, it is. It is a Negro spiritual, but it ain't that old. It just makes us feel that way. Okay. When I see you, all right. Naya, Jake, tell them what you got coming up or how they can find you.
So y'all can find me on literally anything, all platforms. So Apple Music. I'm gonna be dropping more soon. I just gotta get this all the way mixed because that song yesterday wasn't even all the way mixed. That was still the rough copy. But when I get that all the way mixed, I'm gonna drop it. But you can find me on Apple Music, YouTube, Spotify, like anything really.
That's a fact. By the way, and the song is on this month's playlist. Again, I keep pointing up as if the bio is above me. It's not, but the link is in the bio. So anytime you, whatever that is, you can find it for the playlist. And Naya J's attached. The song is there, and the song is fire. Her vocals do sound radio ready. It is one of those things where when she sang on stage, it just sounded like it was already EQ'd. So it's like, all right. So a vibe. I appreciate. Thank you for hopping on and talking to me.
Thank you for having me. It's nice seeing y'all.
Yes, same.
Yeah.
Good job.
Oh, and by the way, I gotta mention. Listen, I walked up to her on the spot. I was hosting a block party. I handed her the mic. Like, who want to sing? Bye, bye, bye. I can't. Maybe. Listen, rocked it in the middle of the street on Market Street, downtown, with the vocals. Fire. All right.
You put me on the spot. My mom was like, "Do it." I'm like, "Why aren't you asking my mom?" But
because it was your turn. Listen, your mom put all that work raising you. Here you go. All right. Young State, I'm about to bring you up here, brother.
But thank you.
You're welcome.
Y'all have a good
You enjoy the rest of
your
night, Queen.
I'm going to bring up Young State. There we go. Get Seda up here. Boom. Hold up. Adding him real quick. My phone. There we go. Bang. With that said, so Serena, what's your favorite thing to perform? Like your favorite piece?
I don't know. I like to perform Rise a lot because it just feel like it can always be used. I don't know. And I like Silver and Golds right now. I don't know. Just depends on my mood. I like rapping, because that's a little newer for me, but I like it
You
because
be going
it's like
off.
I get to hop around. Yeah, like I get to hop around. I get to be more like animated sometimes, and I get to flow. And I guess that's just what's been given to me more recently. But I still like the poetry too.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I need the world to know that what Serena Joy does is her pen. Like, okay, so I am painting you slightly off because she does bring joy, but when she gets to rapping, like it's the, you know what I mean? Like she gets the rapper hands, the neck is into it. Like there's bars out there. I don't want y'all to think it's peaches and roses when she gets to spitting. Like it's there, but then the end still comes with like the message. Like that's why it's fire. Like it never leaves the message. So listen, I salute you for that.
I appreciate it. Thank you. That's all I want to do is give a good message.
Yes. And because of that, I have to introduce my man Young Seda, right? Bang, right? Who also comes with a message. It's almost like y'all performed around each other before. Well, you have. Okay. So, Smooth Wobble, I know you haven't with them, but I'm going to let you know who they are. So, you know how you get real conscious with the lyricism? The world don't know this about Smooth if they ain't seen him. But when he be spitting, he gets you on like a third eye vibe. You feel me? Right? So, this was a really uplifting vibe. So, like, in general, Young Seda goes into that space of just positivity and uplifting in that world. So, with that said, Young Seda, tell them about what you do.
Alright, what's good, y'all? I make music. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. And I've been doing it for like 6-7 years now. And I'm just really passionate where I'm from. So,
Okay. So here's the difference, right? So Young Seda's going to be performing at Oddly Dope. I'll be hosting Oddly Dope, right? Bing bong, that's coming up. We rocking, you feel me? So and it's going to be him and Mr. True Story. So when Young Seda hits this stage, tell them what should people expect to see you do.
I mean, definitely expect the show, man. Like the Oddly Dope, I'm excited for that, man. Even to share the stage with Mr. True Story, that's like my manager's brother, which is like cool. So I mean, like, definitely expect the show, have fun, and yeah, just have a good time.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
What inspires your pen?
What inspires it? Kind of like personal things that I've been through, things that I've seen. Like, I'm from the city. I live in Riverside. That's where I'm from. And so, like, kind of just kind of seeing things like evolve and change over the years. And then coming to realize, like, this is like not just like something that I probably go through, but a lot of people go through, you know? So just being able to share that, man, and like be a light in that space where it's not really that much positivity or even that much like influence, you know?
Absolutely. So just so the world can understand, because I'm from Wilmington, and if you're not from Delaware, you may be like, Riverside, what is that? Riverside is one of those places that could be labeled as the trenches. I don't want people to get it misconstrued. That is it. So when he says that, and that only matters to me right now because he's telling you where he writes from, right? That's why, like, if we talk about where we getting this from, and if I see, I'm just writing what I see outside. See, he man a few words right now because it's in his pen. He got a lot of words in each line, like when he's rapping and stuff. So, that's kind of the difference in what's being poured out there and why it's so relatable to a bunch of different people. I do have to ask Smooth Waffle, what inspires your pen, son?
So I could equally say life. For me, it's honestly just being I feel like a watcher and a student, you know, to just everyday living. Mental health definitely plays a part of it, just as far as my own and the many experiences I cherish with others, you know. Sometimes experiences with my friends, relationships, it definitely inspires um, the outlook I carry into my pen. And then on top of that, you know, like you mentioned the third eye, you know, stuff. And, you know, I feel like from being inspired by individuals like a Nas, a Pac, a Kendrick, you know, and then fusing that with like a Tyler, a Mick Jenkins, you know, and many other artists, right? It's like being able to merge the very things that I feel is colorful and bright within me and all my interests, but then still always recognizing that there's something deeper than me. You know, I always speak integrally from an introspective perspective, first and foremost, because it's always for me first. However, because of my love and my care for the world and humanity, there's always a bigger conversation I look to have, you know, whether it's the listeners or even myself just sharing thoughts. So it always stems from here, but it's from being a person that just captures life, you know, in front of me, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's almost like it's going and you store it for the perfect time to kind of put it together.
We walk in data banks, man. You know, we walk in data banks, and you know that's why everybody nowadays, especially, are like, no, pay attention to what you absorb and what you taking in, because even if you're very mindful of what it is you're receiving, there's a lot of things that we take in subconsciously, you know, and then even through our experiences. So.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Serena, I'm going to let you get up out of here, but I do have two more quick questions for you. Same difference. One, what's the hardest thing about getting up there and making it happen when you don't feel like it?
You don't feel
and how do you get over it?
How do I get
you're
over
right.
it?
It's easy when you feel like it. I need when you don't feel like it.
You know me, I would just say a prayer that I am going to be used by God, honestly, and that it goes beyond me. It's not about me. You know, at that point, it really isn't. And that I hope that the words that I created reach somebody. So that helps me get up and do what I want to do, what I need to do, because that's what I was created for. That's what it is.
Talk about it. Oh, okay. And what you got coming up? What you working on? Tell the people about it.
I do have a show. I think the 16th. I'll be with like Isaiah Lee, Motivated by Losses. He has a show coming up, so I'm gonna be in there. And that's it as far as live performance wise right now. And then I'm on Instagram. Y'all can always catch my stories in the morning. Y'all can always catch me, you know, putting a little post out sometimes. You know, that's it. You know, I just appreciate letting me be here being seen. Thank you.
No,
you know
thank you. Listen, I told you that in the middle of the street like a month and a half ago. I said, listen, you be brightening up people's days and stuff. Listen, if you want to start your day off right, just put on some Serena Joy story in the morning. You'll be like, all right, let's attack the world. You don't even know why you had such a great day at the end because you started with Serena Joy. A little bit of prayer is Serena Joy. That's what she's going to tell you. I'm going to tell you that. A little bit of prayer first because then some Serena Joy. Okay? I'm going to suggest brushing teeth, but that's optional. All right. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm going to let you get up out of there. And listen, I hope we intersect again because I always hope we intersect the fire out there. All right?
Thank you, guys. Nice to see you. Young Saturday, young thing. I'll see you soon. All right.
That's what's good. All right, and true story, you're up, buddy. By the way, let me see. All right, Mr. True Story. There we go. All right. True Story's coming on. Okay, and I'm gonna ask you the same question, Smooth. Matter of fact, I gotta ask you. I know why, but I want the world who missed it to know why is your name Smooth Waffle? What up, True Story? How you feeling, True? You good?
Everything good. How y'all feel?
Listen, we saving getting money, man.
I like to hear. I like what I see. I like what I hear. I'm watching you. I'm like, yeah, that's right. They lit in here.
Right. It's a vibe. All right, so Smooth Waffle. Why is your name Smooth Waffle?
All right. So for the clarification, Smooth was my nickname in school, just due to my tonality, certain ways I dress, and at the time, the peers around me, like like how it is in school, people kind of like joke with you, joke on you, and it kind of became a running joke anytime they see me, to the point where even people that don't know me, they'll overhear it, and then it just stuck. Like everybody started calling me Smooth. And then around college, when I created a Twitter, I needed a handle. And at the time, my humor and me not taking things as seriously pointed me to be like, shit, I like waffles. And Smooth Waffle came up on the scene. And then after a while, because like I went by Marty in Berlin. I'm Berlin, ideally. And then Marty is like the zombie that lives within my mind, right? Still here too. And as I would perform Smooth Waffle, I would present that to people, and then after a while, people like just that stuck more than anything. And after a while, I was motivated to utilize that name because it's still representing my brand in a way. Just as far as like, in my younger years, I used to feel like I wasn't taking this seriously. So it was kind of like playing off of that. But then when you actually receive me, like when you hear the name, it's like, what the, like, but then when you hear me though, it's almost like paradoxical, and it's almost like the other end of it. You know what I mean? It's like almost hypocritical based off the surface. But that's the whole point, right? Like everybody's like, isn't a Smooth Waffle a pancake, or like, but it's like a whole different depth to it. You know what I'm saying? Waffles, it got layers to it. It got depth. It got like craters, you know what I mean? Pockets. And through that, I almost feel like a chameleon as an artist. I've always been a chameleon, like as an artist and a visionary. And in my own right, I mean, I am smooth, but then the waffle part, it's to play off the humor and almost mind fuck you. You know what I'm saying? And it's just to bring you in. It's to bring you in. We breaking curses. We breaking fast. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't breakfast. We breaking fast. You get me?
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I never expected to psychoanalyze Waffle. I just didn't know that I'd do that. Like I wasn't like now I want to know the diameter of the depth. Like somebody, listen. We gonna Google how deep is the waffle. How deep the groove? The groove
anyway. That's the trending question right there. We're gonna start that one up. How deep is the waffle?
That's how I met my baby mama. I asked her how deep was the waffle. All right, so
crazy, bro.
Funny. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, okay. Smooth Waffle, go ahead. Tell these people a little bit about yourself. Excuse me, where they can find you before I get you up out of here as well.
No doubt. So I mean, look, as you know, the social media handle is Smooth Waffle, SMOOTH Waffle. You can find out more about me, my music, my art, my story on smoothwaffle.com. And yes, we got official websites, you know what I'm saying, stamp. And other than that, yeah, follow that. And then for any more on me, just go to my account. I got art too. I do art called dot 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 art, dot art. And you know what I'm saying? I'm an artist, a producer, engineer, and a visionary. And I'm your everyday renaissance man. You know what I'm saying? Come
Bars.
get come get to know come get to know the depths of the waffle, cause trust me, it ain't as silly as you think it is, you know.
Mm.
All right, he ain't playing with him. He ain't playing with him. I thank you for that, good brother. I hope we get to
You
cross
already
paths
know.
again. On you know what I mean? All right.
You already know, man. I'm sure I'll see y'all again, especially at the next ordeal. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Thank y'all
All
for
right, all right. By the way, and while who I'm going to bring up next, because he didn't know I was going to do it, but I'm petty, so I'm gonna see if he jump on. So Shannon, I feel like you should be doing this. I'm gonna bring you up during this portion.
Hey yo.
That's usually do it because you
Break.
weren't here last month, so you supposed to be here now. We gonna try. I'm gonna see if I can get. There it is. So we gonna see if we can get him on there while he figures out whether or not he's gonna get on. I gotta ask you, Mr. True Story.
Yeah.
What's your music sound like? What can they expect to hear from you on Oddly Dope?
I mean, y'all put me and Settle on the same ticket. Y'all know we about to come in there. We about to wreck house. No cap. Like his music is dope, and I think it's just great because the event is called Oddly Dope, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like my music, the way that I create it, is not the typical way you would create the type of music that I make, because a lot of my stuff is mixed. Like I do this one thing called rap worship. I might do it at the Oddity Bar. I don't know. It depends on how the crowd is. I got to see what they into. But I was the one, like I was an artist, and people was like, "Yo, you can't rap and praise God, bro. Like it's not going to work. Like you got to decide. Like you know what I'm saying? So like I was like, why? Like why can't I just be myself and still rap? I rap better than most of these rappers out here anyway. Like y'all listening to all these artists, these mainstream artists, they ain't talking about nothing in their music. We talking about, having actual conscious rappers that actually we talking about real life stories, where we come from, what we into, all that. So it's like, I look at it, I say, why not? You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
my music it's a mashup. It's oddly dope. You know what I'm saying? It's oddly dope. It's like I ain't never heard it like this before. This sounds different. Cause like I love hymnals, but I can't do hymnals the old school way. I'm not doing it with the organ because we not in church, bro. Like I'm not that churchy. You know what I'm saying? Like I like the hymnal, but I'm gonna do it a different way. Like
Absolutely.
so.
Gotta add your own little, your little shimmy on it. I'm here for it. So listen, okay. So for Young Seda, because I met you, right? So fun fact, in true story, you don't know this. So I met Young Seda probably, I guess is almost 2 years. Is it a year? Almost a year ago?
It's been a while.
It might have been 2. It was a long time. It was at doing when John Carr was doing open mics.
Yeah.
Like this was when Young Seda was like Young Seda. Like he ain't really like all this. He ain't even get the check yet. I ain't gonna listen. He wasn't in the stew like the stew. Listen, all of a sudden, listen, all of it. Listen, all of a sudden, the vibe was there. What was it like through your journey, sir? Within that time frame.
Well, definitely. I have been working with like people within the city and stuff like that. I think like after that time period, honestly, seeing my bro Keith as is, shout out to him, man. Like he was at that place too with John Carr. Like after seeing him kind of like really like start moving, start making like hella connections and start moving, it just motivated me times 10, like to really like use all of my resources, really like, continue to like sharpen my craft. So yeah, the inspiration from my bro Keys, my management as well. Shout out Shannon, he's on here now. But yeah, just the constant support I get from him, and yeah, just continuing to do what I do, man.
That's a fact. Yeah, yo, and shout out to Keith Says This as well. Listen, because that man, listen, and he got some new stuff coming. Y'all should check it out. I see what you building, right? I can hear the growth in your artistry, sir. So I like where you're going. I don't know if you're around, you can comment somewhere, but you know the vibes. Oh man, by the way, this gentleman I put in the lower corner right now. I ain't put him there, they did, but his name is Shannon Lolly, who we're talking to. Actually, oddly dope. That 3G management vibe. You feel me? Listen, talk to him, sir. How did you source such talented people? How did they wind up with you?
Well, first of all, Jerron's my brother, blood brother. So that's the connection there. With Seta, met Seta, what was it, 3 or 4 years ago? I was a judge for auditions for the Delaware Teen Idol. So I met him there. He came in, smashed, of course. I was like, yo, who is this kid? Like, he was dope. So, did the whole Teen Idol. A couple years went by, and then we reconnected. So, you know what I mean? So we connected on a business level. It has grown over the last year or two, just as, building trust and building them to, be professional with his craft and to think outside of the box. You know what I mean? So right now, that's where we at, man. So, I'm proud of my brother. I don't manage my brother, but he, I'm a researcher. He can hit me up whenever. And Saturday, so it's gonna be a good vibe on the 18th, man. So, you know what I mean. So I'm excited about it. See how this is gonna blend all together. But yo, expect a good show, though. I will tell you that.
Okay, I gotta ask you a question, Shannon, that I know the answer to, but because I'm going to ask it, it's going to sound foul. So just a warning: the question sounds foul, but the answer's gonna be dope. Watch. So, are you just supporting him because he's your brother? Like, is that all he do, or what's dope about him?
Oh, what's dope about it? First of all, and I told Joe this too as well. He's a musician first. He probably won't tell people that he plays the fluently plays the drums, fluently plays the keys, organ, and I think he's trying to dab on the bass a little bit. So,
there's a little something on the bass real quick.
Yeah, so he'll be fluent on that. I'm pretty sure. So again, so that what makes it dope. Okay, so he's a musician first. So a lot of times, what I think out of his music, his musicianship comes out in his craft. You know what I mean? So you're gonna get a blend of some lyrics, some bars, but you also get the musicianship that he has as well. So a lot of musicians think outside the box. A lot of people don't quite understand it, and that's what most creatives as well. Even with Seta, his mind is always creating, always thinking. And one thing I say like this: creatives have tunnel vision. They always nothing is always perfect for them. They hear something, they record, they want to change it because they're constantly in that mindset. So I don't know what they might change up for the 18th, but again, so Mr. Two Story though, he's a musician first. So again, I'm not sure what he's going to do on that Sunday, but y'all need to be there.
That's a fact. Talk about it. I'm here for it. Say, I got a question before I let you get up out of here. What advice do you give? Because you're a younger artist, and again, I've seen you last year. It's been a whirlwind. Okay, you've done a lot of different things, gotten music out, made some moves. Again, what advice would you give the youngins?
Remember why you started. Because it's not always gonna be like a smooth ride. Gonna be like things that happen. Granted, that pandemic hit, no one was expecting that. But like, remember your why. Why did you start? And just continually go back to that when you feel like you just feel like giving up.
Right though.
And G, let me add on to that too. So, and I shared this with Sutter before. God is giving everybody a talent, right? A gift. That's a gift that He's giving you. So that gift technically is not for you. It's for you to give it away, right? To share with other people. So whenever you withhold sharing your gift, man, it's like you stealing from God, yo. So think about that. That's why you do what you do. You feel me? So
absolutely. Don't be wasting God's stuff. You don't even waste your stuff. Don't waste God's stuff. What's wrong with these people? Wasting what God gave them. That disrespect. Oh man. Okay, what advice you got for people? True story. Tell them what advice you got. What gems you dropping on people?
Don't stop, yo. Like, at the end of the day, don't stop. Like, one thing I learned in my journey of being an artist is that my sound is completely different. And in the beginning, it was a little like people didn't understand it. People was like, I don't know how I feel about him. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I dislike it. I think you should try and do this. And in the beginning, I took too many suggestions. You know what I'm saying? Do it that way. Try it like this. Do it like that. And when I took that time to just like settle in and be like, yo, I'm gonna create the music I want to make, the music that I like, the music that I want to hear, then I began to find myself as an artist. But through that time, like Seta said, it's a journey, like it's a process trying to get there. So, you know, through the pandemic was when I really had time to sit down and really find myself as an artist, because we in a house, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that was something that was unplanned. I was always like focusing on, well, whenever I do something on stage, I gotta make sure, like I gotta make sure I'm the best on stage. And then it turned into, forget being the best on stage. I need to outdo myself every single time that I get on stage. I don't care who's here. You know, no disrespect to the other artists that might be in the building, but it's about like, how can I be better than what I was the last time? So, you know, through that pandemic, that's when I really grew in that area. And that's the reason why I say don't stop, is because in that, through the journey of being an artist, like Seta said, it's not always going to be sweet. You're going to go through some things going to happen, and you're going to be like, yo, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm putting all this in, and I feel like I ain't getting this back, or this ain't working like that, or it's not quite sounding the way I want it to sound, and all that kind of stuff. But you just got to work through it. Like, if you stay diligent and you work through it, like, I promise you, like, your hard work is going to pay off. You know what I'm saying? So whatever.
Just because I'm curious, because you're so different, and I appreciate you saying that. I hope the world really grabbed what you said, because that was a huge difference. Who inspires your sound, or what style, or like what artists inspire your sound? Because you keep saying it's different, and now it's hard for me to imagine. So, and I've heard it. It's on the playlist, by the way. The December Delaware Music Network's playlist has his music there. So go ahead. But who inspires that?
So it's a couple of different things. Of course, I know y'all got to know who TC is. I know Seta know. I know Shannon know. But definitely TC was definitely one person that I've always looked up to as a child. Like, just watching somebody who did something completely out of the box, completely different. And like, he would sing songs and I'm like, I've heard this song 1,000 times. I never heard it like that. You know what I'm saying? So like, that was inspiring. And then
you talk about Thomas Clay?
Absolutely.
Rest in peace, Thomas Clay, by the way, legend. I don't know, like, that's very, like, some people are just legends in Wilmington.
He was different. He was definitely a unicorn. Like, and then oddly enough, another place I get like my inspiration from is I watch battle rap. Like, most people would think that, like, oh, he's a Christian hip hop rapper. Like, you think I'd be listening to like Lecrae and Andy Mineo, and I'm like, yeah, now I want to write. No, like, I like listening to like New Jersey Twerk, Arsenal, Sue Surf, Goods, DNA. Favorite right now is T-Top. Like, I really sit there and watch it, and what it does is it inspires me to write, because like, I like to tell stories in my music and like use metaphors and like really capture people's attention and not just write anything. So when I'm listening to battle rap, I'm like watching how they do things and how they approach their delivery, how they set up, you know, the punchline, and then also like their wordplay. Like, I'm big on wordplay, so like all that motivates me. And then after about 2 hours, I'm like, yo, lock me in the studio, let's go. I'm ready to work now. You know what I'm saying? So that's like where I get a lot of inspiration from to do music.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what's inspired to me about that, right? Y'all little young Shannon now, he understands. When Ray came out, okay, Ray did the exact opposite, right? You know, y'all don't know Ray was a blind man that could sing real well. Y'all don't know him now, y'all young. But when Ray came out, what Ray did was he took the gospel sound and made secular music to it. Like so instead he kind of did the opposite, whereas you're taking like battle rap vibes and you're like, let me take this and then add the Christian vibe to it. He kind of did the opposite, which is still dope, because I always believe that when you take something that you can transition it into your own, that's how it kind of grows and builds. So listen.
And it's funny talking about battle rap. There's one Christian battle rapper named The Saga who is dope. Like, he's one of the top battle rappers, but along the line of, you know, being influenced and being inspired, it's one thing to be inspired, and it's one thing to duplicate, right?
Yep.
So a lot of times artists, they listen to artists and they try to mimic. So that's how we get a lot of this. This stuff is just like right now, it's just a vibe right now. Everyone's doing the same flow, the same style. So in the midst of being inspired and liking an artist, you got to make it your own too. So you grab from different pieces. The one thing about T.C. Thomas Clay, I had the opportunity to manage him as well. He was definitely outside of the box.
100%.
When I say every genre, he was able to just captivate all those different inspirations and put it into his own. So what I would suggest for any artist and any tip I can give you is like, be you.
Yep.
Be inspired, but you got to be you. Because what happens is you can't sound like the next person because, oh, he sounds just like Lil Baby, or he sounds like Jay, or he sounds like Kendrick, or he sounds like whoever, Danny Mini or whoever. So take those inspirations, but also add your twist to it. You know what I mean? So that's going to make you stick out. And again, you make music, and everybody's not going to like it. To be honest, everybody's not going to like the music, but you got to know who your lane is, who your audience is, and that's who you stick with. You know what I mean? So if I can tell you anything to do that, and then from a business point, make sure you got all of your business in order, from copyrights to publishing and all those things like that. Because as a new artist, and the world is big, so don't get stuck on Wilmington, Delaware. Don't get stuck just in Delaware. You know, so again, broadening your horizons and doing things like that. So, y'all, I'm proud of both of y'all. Both of y'all are my bros, blood brother, and then Sutter, you already know what it is. You know what I mean? I push. He'll tell you I push him a lot. I ask him a lot of questions because what I want him to do is think outside of his box. You know what I mean? And I give advice, but advice is only for me to tell you, not tell you what to do, but to cause you to think differently. So I've been challenging them on something. You know, we talk about. I've been challenging them on something to do, and it's like, you know, sometimes when you have a manager or someone that's more so artist development, they may challenge you, they may question you because they just want you to be better. So you know what I mean. So both of y'all do your thing on the 18th, man. I'm gonna be there, you know, in the front supporting both of y'all. So you know, I'm proud of y'all. And G-Dash, you hosting, you already know what it is. I met him a couple months ago, and it's been love. We done broke bread together a couple of times. Definitely a good time. So I appreciate that.
Listen, okay. And because you said that, before I let y'all go, yes, by the way, Ali Dope, guaranteed, that's going to be on December 18th, live at the Oddity Bar, right? Young Sater, Mr. True Story, going to shut it down. I need you to know we also going to have food there by FMA. FMA going to pull the truck up, right? I don't know if y'all had that FMA, but that FMA sound like what you eat on a Sunday, don't it? Like, it sounds like if Sunday comes, you're going to have to eat that FMA. You feel me? So, FMA going to be there. Icebox Limited going to have merch out there. They're going to have, like, bags and just cups and stuff. So, it's going to be all types. It's just going to be a vibe. Like, it's an energy, if you will. It's an energy. Okay? Now, but, Shannon, I got to ask a question to you before I let y'all go. You dropped the gym. Tell me about, because you wasn't here last month. Tell me about that Jewels of the Day thing. He be dropping gems. I don't know if y'all two know. Right, I know that's your brother. He probably be dropping gems on you all the time. You didn't want to hear it. He's walking the room.
You know what I'm saying? He always, this is normal for us. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. Tell me about the jewel of the day that you dropped.
What was that? Oh, about when do you need a manager? So this is what I say. Everyone doesn't need a manager. I meet so many different artists. I do artist consultations. People, I need a manager. You really don't need a manager right now. There's a lot of stuff that you can do on your own. You need a manager when you got a lot of stuff going on. You got merch, you got product, you got shows, and you need a manager to kind of keep everything in line. And the one thing I will say, if you do obtain a manager, and I told Sutter this too, anybody that approaches you about they want to be your manager and they make you make a rush decision, that ain't it. And he'll tell you, I don't force him to do anything. We have a conversation. It's a joint effort. And also, when you get a manager, it's not the time where you think you're going to just blow up. That's not it. It's a grind. Seth and I are grinding right now to get this project done. It's going to be done real soon. We got 3 songs left. But so what I'm saying is, so get to the place where you can do some stuff yourself, some marketing, create your fan base. You get a manager who's going to keep you in line. Seth will tell you, I talk about budgets. I talk about next steps. Like, okay, what are you going to do? Oh, yeah, we want to do a show. Oh, that sounds good. But it's a budget. What's the expenses? How you going to get it back? How you gonna recoup. You know what I mean? So again, you don't always need a manager. You don't need a manager not to if you don't have anything to manage. You know what I mean? So again, if I want to share that, man, make sure you got your ducks in a row when you're ready to take on a manager. So you know what I mean? I had one artist, dope artist, came to me, was going to do management. We signed a little deal or a little, I call it an agreement. And, you know, it was early and they was just like, I can't do this. Because my expectation was this. If you're going to do this and you're going to sign on the manager, I'm going to push you to be great. I'm going to push you to do more than what the other local artist is doing. You know what I mean? Even so they tell you, even from your presentation, even if you do an open mic, even if you come in to do a show here in the city, your presentation got to be different than everybody else. I mean, know your lyrics. Don't come rapping and singing over your lyrics. Your track is right. The sound, the levels is right. So again, just provide excellence in what I do. So that's what management does. But everybody doesn't need a manager from the rip. You know what I mean? You got to, and it's a grind. You got to appreciate the grind, man. So when you do get successful, you won't abuse it. You won't take advantage of it because you grind it out. You know what I mean? You put all your money in, right setup. You put your money in, you put your blood, your sweat, your tears, and time. And again, so when you get successful, you won't abuse it, yo. So that was my gem for the Delaware Music Network a couple months ago. That was it.
That was the jewel of the day. And I'm gonna tell you the part that I like that you said the best. Don't be trying to get a manager. You ain't got nothing to manage.
That's it.
Think about it. What you managing? You got a product? If you ain't got a product, you just out there just, hey, manage me doing nothing. I want to be able to manage my movements. Okay, you better manage that yourself. Like, listen, that is a part of the grind. Figuring out when you need help, figuring out when you don't need help, figuring out what you can do to yourself, do for yourself, and understand that part of it comes into self-investment in doing things for yourself until you can afford to pay someone. That's the thing. It might not be the best. It's going to be like, listen, all right, I get it. Like, but if you waiting to get the perfection, perfection take money. Okay, so if you waiting for perfection, you're going to need money. If you want, listen, this is as best I can get them to get my craft out there so I can get a check and do better. That's what this is for. That's why I like to have these conversations on the Delaware Music Network, because we can drop these gems and have these conversations that kind of really can build that out. All right. Before I let y'all go, and y'all gonna have to give me words, but say that I ain't asked you. I gotta get you one last time. Go ahead. Tell the people what they can expect from, where they can find you, what you've been working on.
Yeah.
And then give me a word. You gotta give me a word.
For sure. I've been working on this album. It's called A Riverside Story. I've been working on it since the pandemic happened. Like I said, like there's been like some things, like some challenges, some discussions even with management, and it's just like remembering that why. All right, yeah, it's not like it's not like starting it, it's like, okay, it's gonna be a cool ride, boom, boom, boom. I'm recording here, I'm doing this here, I got this, but then things change, or like, people get sick, or like, when you're working with like different producers and stuff like that, you got to make sure like everyone's on one schedule. So it's like a whole bunch of moving pieces. But I'm saying all of that to say, like, yo, it's worth the wait. I'm so excited. It's almost done. And that's like what's next for me, is that album releasing A Riverside.
Okay. All right. Hold on to the word. Don't say the word out loud yet. What'd you say, Shannon?
I said, talk about your singles. We do got 2 singles out.
Oh yeah. Two songs. The first one is God's Promise. The second one is $20 Dreams. Both of them have been produced by Tavion. He goes by like Tay's Music on here. But we had produced that, and those 2 songs are on the project. So yeah, y'all can listen to that. iTunes, Google, YouTube, all of that.
And by the way, those songs are on the December Delaware Music Network playlist. Again, it's in the bio. I don't know if the bio's above. It's not above me. It's never above me, but I keep doing this. Anyway, so yes, but those songs. Think of the word. Don't say it out loud. Hold that word. I'm coming back to you. True Story, Mr. True Story. Where can they find your work and what you working on?
All right, so first things first, let's do the easy part. Where you can find all my music is on all streaming platforms, whether that's Apple Music, Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, Amazon Music. Wherever you go to listen to your music, it's on there. Mr. True Story. That's my name on there. So it's all the same thing on socials, on Instagram, official Mr. True Story, TikTok, Mr. True Story. Facebook, I go by my real name, but I do have a Facebook page, Mr. True Story. So it's the same everywhere I go. And I'm currently working on an album too. I'm gonna drop it in August of 2023. I said that out loud. I think I did. Yeah, so we'll drop that joint August of 2023. But in between me working on the album, because like Seta said, it's a journey, it's a process. I want y'all to hear the journey through the music. I want y'all to hear how things go. So it's been an album that's been in the works since COVID hit. Like I feel like me and Seta in the same boat for real. Like I feel like we kind of like locked in the same time and just started working on music. Like I've been working on this album since 2020. That's when I got my studio. Like you said, sometimes you just gotta start out, just do it, and you'll get better along the way until you can pay somebody that's professional to do it for you. And that's how I've been doing things, and it's been working out very well. And I've heard just in my music personally, I've heard the difference of style, like the coming of who I am as an artist, and like ended up like taking some songs and was like, those ain't gonna make the album. Those might be singles some later on down the line. I'm not even in that same headspace no more. I'm over here. So we're gonna keep working. We'll still start the journey from the beginning and work it through, but that's the main thing I'm working on. I'm working with like Seta said, I'm working with a couple of different producers. Me and my guy, his name is Calvin. You'll see a lot of his stuff that I tag him in on my page, and he just started his page probably about 3 months ago. So his name is on Instagram at Produced by CBC. But his music is dope, his vibe is dope, and the way that we even got together was he told me one day, like as soon as COVID hit, he told me one day, he said, "Bro, I want to do music. I don't got no equipment, but I just want to do it." And I said, all right, well, what we gonna do? So he got FL Studio, and then he bought his laptop, and then he had a Bluetooth speaker. Our first song we ever made was made on a Bluetooth speaker.
Right.
He got that joint, and then he got an actual setup, and it's been up ever since. So, we staying busy. That's just me as an artist, but I'm a musician first. A lot of people they may know of that if you go on my page, but if you don't know me, then a lot of venues you see me at, I'm usually an artist. So outside of that, I'm always doing music. I'm always producing, writing, or I'm playing somewhere.
Dope. Okay, again, you think of a word, don't say it out loud. You hold on to that, put it in the package for a second. We're circling back. Oh man, listen, the man with the management. Listen, what can the people expect from the team? What the team got coming, sir?
Well, I'm gonna start backwards. So I do manage another artist named Camille Johnson. She's a singer. She's actually working on some stuff right now. Hopefully to release her single off her project first quarter of 2023. We got Young Seta, of course, finishing up this Riverside story, and it's going to be phenomenal. When he came up with the concept, it was crazy. It's going to be relatable to everybody. So I'm definitely excited about that project. Also with 3G Management, I do events, so I'm looking forward to doing some events this upcoming year. I kind of put some stuff on hold just to regroup, refresh. Just go back to the drawing board to do some things a little bit differently than what I did in the past. Anybody who's been to any of my shows know that I'm big on presentation, lighting, sound, the artists, the variety of different artists. So I'm just working on a couple different events. Actually going to be partnering with a couple of people to bring some events with the Delaware Music Network with Joe, G yourself, Muff, the whole squad or whatever. So I'm excited about being a part of the Delaware Music Network. But I will say this to you though, y'all stay tuned. I'm doing a crazy birthday bash on February 4th. That's my birthday. But the crazy part is, we didn't notice until I started managing. Me, Seta, and I had the same birthday, which is so bananas. So he's going to be at my event as well. But it's going to be a bang out event. Y'all definitely have some invites coming up. It's going to definitely be musical, of course. So again, that's what I got. So
that's a fact. That's a fact. It's a management family birthday. It's your real family birthday because your brother's birthday right around the corner from that too, right before then.
Yeah, O's and Chef O's birthday. We're a day apart. We're a day apart, and 4 years apart, which is weird, right? So yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I need you to know, true story don't sound as highlight, man. There's all these gifts. I got a lot of people who just like. Y'all gonna get the same. I appreciate y'all. Y'all gonna get a whole bunch of appreciation.
Right? Listen, it's all good.
I'm here for it.
Hey, G, guess what? We're going to have some orange soda greens, too, at the birthday.
That's right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's a fact. All right. So now, by the way, I gotta say, I gotta shout out to LaShawn Clay. Spider, listen, I'm gonna circle back to y'all because also D Harv ain't get on, and I gotta let the world know that on December 19th, that on December on December 16th is also going to be live at the Rockford Tavern with Harvey Road. I'm hosting that too, and we going to shut it down. I got to let the world know because that's going to get funky. I'm going to circle back. We might do a live next week. I might have to do something extra with y'all just to get you on there because you dropped a new single. I don't want to miss you, Spider. We know what you got, and your song is on the playlist. I ain't forget about you. I got to shout that out.
Spider, Sean Clay, what's up, boy?
That's a fact. You know them Clay boys, boy. I tell you, that Clay is a family. It's a famous Delaware family.
Yeah, definitely. Spider's a beast.
Yes. Okay. Jay Star, and listen, if you're a gospel rapper, you want to tap in, you probably should come to Oddly Dope. I advise you be there, okay? Because you're going to get to see what the talent is. You're going to get to see a manager who manages that talent. You're going to get to see a lot of things that the Delaware Music Network builds up, all right?
Speaking from experience, that's my guy, so he's definitely dope. He's got some good music. He's got some stuff he's working on. I can tell you his sound, the way that I'm telling you, he's dope too. Jay is, yeah.
All right, we here. It's going to be at the Oddity Bar. Listen, it's going to be at the Oddity Bar on December 18th. All right, that's where that is. So with that said, I need. Oh, and Effie Mays going to have the food popping. Ice by Slim going to have some merch out there. It's a whole vibe. With that said, I need my words. So, I'm going out of order just so I can get them, shuffle them up a little bit. Why not? True story. What's the word you got?
What's the word I got? Life.
Life? Okay. Lolly, what word you have for me?
Passion.
Okay, and what word you got for me, Taylor?
Man. Patience, man.
Ooh. Life, passion, and patience. That sounds like an album or an adult beverage. All right. Oh, man. All right, so I'm G Dash since I'll be hosting live at the Rockford Tavern, and I'll be hosting Oddly Dope, and I'm hosting the Hats Off. Y'all can see it. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank everybody who came through. Naja Nicole also, and J Street. Happy birthday to J Street. And Naja, I ain't forget about you. And the Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. And I said it right. I did. So, listen, they got a whole celebration going on out there. Y'all peep the pages. It's around there. I'm going to circle back to her at some point, and we're going to go on live and talk. But this was a good conversation. So, I'm thinking life. I wonder, will it take me under? See, I know what that means because I remember when I first heard it said. But I didn't know at that time that it would be so real that I was like, these are words that I've never read, but they will always live in my head. Okay. Let me help you understand. See, life, you can feel like you may have a plan, but it can feel like it takes you under when that plan ain't happening at the time that you were supposed to. Who told you that your clock was what it was meant for? Who said that this was on your time before you was ready? Because otherwise you would get something that you're not ready for. Okay, I get it. That divine intervention was supposed to happen there, but that's what you thought you was going to ignore? Oh man, it's so funny how when I say it, I start to think about humans living this life are full of impatience. Like we don't want to wait for. Okay, and matter of fact, it's supposed to happen right now. I walk in with such entitlement. Like, people don't understand this. You want me to wait for a bit? Because if I wait for too long, my ADHD kicks in and now I'm bored. How are you bored with your craft? How are you bored with finding new ways to do things that you have never done before? You can kiss my... Ooh, I got to say it like that. Because people don't realize that being a creative isn't about just being a studio rat. People don't realize that being a creative isn't just about where that pen is at and how you put it to that. People don't realize that when you live in that life of the creative, sometimes you may hate it. Sometimes you may feel like, I don't even know how I'm going to make it. Sometimes you may feel like you had too many voices around your head telling you how to do what you're supposed to do when you feel it inside of you and how you're supposed to move. And you don't know how to pick and choose who to listen to. That's just the truth. See, I need you to understand that in this life, when you're still just trying to make it happen, and you start to asking, is it ever going to happen? That's when you have to keep learning. And I know it may start hurting when you're moving with such patience and you feel like that time is wasting, but as long as you're still building, you'll understand what you're facing, regardless of the trials and tribulations. I'm just trying to say that's what's inside of you ain't nobody taking, but you will only make it if you use that passion to get through what you've created. Poem. All right? You heard me. I'm G-Dash Jones. You know what I'm saying? Something like, you feel me? You know, I don't know. I just did some stuff. So this has been an episode of Hats Off, Delaware Music Network. I thank everybody who was a part of this episode. I'll post it on Facebook or somewhere tomorrow, or at least clips. Yeah. All right. With that said, I'll holler.